the ancient art of self-leadership. "Time is passing quickly," said Julian, before pouring himself another cup of tea. "The morning will soon be upon us. Do you want me to continue, or have you had enough for one night?" "Please continue, Julian. I have all the time in the world. The kids are sleeping at their grandparents' house tonight, and Jenny won't be up for hours." Sensing my sincerity, he continued with the symbolic fable that Yogi Raman had offered him to illustrate his wisdom. "You will recall that as the fable continues, the door of the lighthouse slowly opens, and out walks a 9-foot-tall, 900-pound Japanese sumo wrestler. Sounds like a bad Godzilla movie." "I used to love those when I was a kid," Julian said. "Me too, but don't let me distract you. The sumo wrestler represents a very important element in the life-changing system of the sages of Savannah. Yogi Raman told me that many centuries ago in the East, the great teachers developed and refined a philosophy called Kaizen. This Japanese word means constant and never-ending improvement, and it's the personal trademark of every man and woman who is living a soaring, fully awakened existence." "How did the concept of Kaizen enrich the lives of the sages?" I asked. "If you really want to improve your outer relationships or your finances, you must first improve your inner world. The most effective way to do this is through the practice of continuous self-improvement." "Julian, I hope you don't mind me saying it, but all this talk about one's inner world sounds more than a little esoteric to me. I'm having a little difficulty with this notion of Kaizen and improving my inner world. What exactly are we talking about here?" Julian was agile in his response. "When I speak of improving your inner world, I am simply speaking of self-improvement and personal expansion, and it is the best thing you can do for yourself. Taking the time to master your mind, to care for your body, and to nourish your soul will put you in the position to develop more richness and vitality in your life. It is as Epictetus said so many years ago, 'No man is free who is not a master of himself.'" I nodded in full agreement. This was the first time I had given any serious thought to the importance of improving myself. I really could use the added energy and good health that exercising would surely bring. Ridding myself of my nasty temper and my habit of interrupting others might do wonders for my relationship with my wife and kids. And erasing my worry habit would give me the peace of mind and deep happiness I had been searching for. The more I thought about it, the more potential improvements I saw. Julian spoke of the importance of building strength of character, developing mental toughness, and living with courage. He told me that these 3 attributes would lead not only to a virtuous life, but a life filled with achievement, satisfaction, and inner peace. Courage was a quality everyone could cultivate, and one that would pay huge dividends over the long run. What does courage have to do with self-leadership and personal development? I wondered aloud. Courage allows you to do whatever you want to do because you know it is right. Ultimately, the degree of courage you live with determines the amount of fulfillment you receive. And those who master themselves have an abundance of courage. Okay, I'm starting to understand the power of working on myself. Where do I start? Julian returned to his conversation with Yogi Raman, high atop the mountains, on what he remembered as a remarkably starry and gloriously beautiful night. The more I listened to Yogi Raman, and the more I reflected on the pain and suffering of my former world, the more I welcomed the philosophy of Kaizen, constant and never-ending enrichment of the mind, body, and soul into my new life, Julian asserted. Why am I hearing so much about the mind, body, and soul these days? It seems I can't even turn on the tube without someone making mention of it. This is the trilogy of our human endowments. To improve our mind without the cultivation of your physical gifts would be a very hollow victory. Elevating your mind and body to their highest level without nurturing your soul would leave you feeling very empty and unfulfilled. But when you dedicate your energies to unlocking the full potential of all 3 of your human endowments, you will taste the divine ecstasy of an enlightened life. You've got me pretty excited, pal. And as to your question about where to start, I promise that I will give you a number of ancient yet powerful techniques in a few moments. But first, I must share a practical illustration with you. Get into push-up position.